Hey, P2, do you want to hear some trivia?
Oh, mate, I love a good game of trivia.
Guess what happens when a chook and two pelicans get together?
What's that, mate?
A clucking good time. That's right, you pelicans. The wobbly chook has jumped on board, keeping the bird presence strong. Whether you like a pale ale, brown ale, IPA, or a lager, the wobbly chook has you catered. Crafted from Yamba's finest chooks.
Better still, Mick, how do we get some wobbly chook?
That's easy, P2. Jump online at www.wobblychookbrewingco.com or pop into 26 Cole Street in the heart of Yamba.
And have a clucking good time.
Cluck out.
Cuckoo! Always remember, don't be a mud gudgeon and drink responsibly.
Welcome back to another episode of the Two Pelicans Podcast. So you would have just missed that.
G'day, you Pelicans.
Here he was. You were sort of hung up on his door.
Go and have a good time with them a bit later on.
Pelicans landing in 3, 2, 1.
And welcome back to the Two Pelicans Podcast. This is Mick.
I'm Bo.
And we are the Two Pelicans. Once again here, making fishing great again. One cast, one story, one yarn, one lost lure at a time.
Yeah, that was the story of the weekend, wasn't it? For me.
Yeah, righto. So, look, I hope everyone enjoyed their weekend. It sort of was a very wet one again. We had what would you say? We had a pretty ordinary few days there late last week. I think we might have seen 200 mil.
Yeah, no, it was down in Coffs Harbour where I was working. We got 196 mil in the 2 days, so that was a nice shower and brought a good little fresh into the creeks down there, and pushed a nice little fresh again back into our creek.
You know, just on that good old wobbly chook there on the mother clucking mids. Shout out to them guys. Support the people that support the show. Trust me, you will not be disappointed when you go get yourself a case of these. They're great little cans. So get amongst it while we chook down Yamba. And, So
I would say of late I've probably been drinking more wobbly chooks than rums of late. So.
Yeah, so anyhow, I don't know. You and I teamed up and we had a little bit of a fish, so we might just sort of talk about the week that was for me personally. But we'll get to that in a second. I sort of feel like this is more news, the comp on the weekend. So anyhow, we'll get in that. But look, look, all this week or last week was really just preparing for the ABT Hawkesbury, and so pretty much getting the jigger ready, getting the boat ready, getting all the little bits and pieces that you need when you go away if something goes wrong ready. Bearings, extra prop, all that kind of stuff. Just make sure that's all packed, charges. So been doing that pretty frantically over the last sort of week or so, plus doing kids stuff and all the rest. It was obviously after it was the second week of the New South Wales school holidays. Made a quick trip to Casino Outdoors and Disposals and got some lures after the weekend. So that was good. And, by the way, shout out to P2. It's his birthday today. We record on a Wednesday, and I think he should have a fair bit of jet lag, and I think he's come back into Australia this afternoon. So might be a bit of a long plane flight home for him, but I'm sure, judging by the photos that he's had on his socials, he's had a great time. And it looks like himself and the family got stuck into some fish, which was great. So, so shout out. So raise a chook. Happy birthday, P2. Be good. Don't do what I want to do. And, so I went up there, got some lures. Also, just stopped in and got some more chooks. The chook supply was getting low. And I think that's really been my week in detail. As you can see, every week, if you're on the YouTube, Bo's decorations get bigger and better. We've got the ABT electric, I'm assuming that is.
No, that's not the electric.
That's just the old ABT one.
Yeah, I think that's back from 2019.
2019, there you go. No, so,
Morgo was handing them out, and I thought, I'll take one of them, thank you. I'll use it for something. I think I've used it more for camping as a sort of a corner piece off the caravan and that.
Yeah, right. Okay, nice.
Works well for that, but
there we go.
Perfect for the potty.
Yeah, that's it.
Got some great sponsors there too.
Yeah, no, 100%. And probably a lot of them sponsors are still heavily involved in the tournament scene as well. So really good to see the ongoing support that them sponsors provide. Actually seeing that there, the old Bassman spinnerboat. I got a cod there the other week. I think we briefly spoke about it, but it was a Bassman. But just caught me in the corner of my eye then, so I just had to mention it.
Can't go wrong with a Bassman anyway.
Oh, mate, what have you been up to?
Oh, flat out working. I had a very busy week. Other than Sunday, was able to get out Sunday. But other than that, I really haven't stopped at work. I've got 2 days off today, so.
Now we'll talk about the comp a little bit later. But one thing was interesting when we were getting ready to head off home. You were talking about going for a bass fish. Now, did you end up going?
Yeah, end up going for a quick little bass flick.
How'd you go?
Yeah, we got a couple.
Yeah. I've seen Nige and Anna, supporters of the show, they were out too. I think they posted something in the afternoon that they went for a little sneaky bass fish. So, it's good to see. I just got home and had to fix a rod, get rid of that bird's nest, and then sort of repack and pull a few things in and out for the boat for the pilgrimage tomorrow down to the horse.
I thought I hadn't lost enough lures, so I thought, well, fuck it, let's lose some more. So,
Did you lose any?
Yeah, another 3.
You're kidding me?
Yeah, no.
Where'd you go? McFarlane Rocks?
Reef.
Yeah, Reef. Yep.
No. That was good fun. Couple of 40s and that. But
did you go, Aaron?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, went for a little scoop in the boat. So
yeah.
It was good.
How's a ski boat conversion? Pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. Like he'll
I'm a bit worried I'd slip off that, but the carpet's generally pretty grippy in a boat, but my knees aren't as good as what they used to be.
Yeah, he'll have fun in it. That's for sure.
Yeah, and that's what fishing's all about, having a bit of fun.
Having fun, yeah. It doesn't matter what the boat is.
That's
or
right.
What, just get out there and have a
go. Yeah. All right, so look, we might just move into some news, and I'm just going to see whether I can find something now. As per usual, we're having a few audio issues there today. Our three-way going back into the system isn't working, but I found something interesting on the news the other day, and I just thought to myself, what the fuck is this? Cool.
This could be interesting, people.
Yeah, I'll just see if I can find some. Yeah, here we go. Is that? It's like CNN or something. But if you just type in "watch seagull in intimidators compete in best screech." So obviously best. What do you call it?
So this is act like a seagull competition.
Yeah, like the whatever fucking noise they make, right? Now you have to watch the video, and I might just see whether
you're gonna have to put the video up on it.
I'll see if I can just do a cutaway and put the video up instead of seeing our faces. But I'll just see if I can open this up. I'll just put it right here.
The competition aims to rehabilitate the public image of the essential coastal birds, who are often seen as public nuisances.
People think seagulls are annoying things, but in fact they only take care of their little ones, and they are very protective.
Some people hate them. They see them like rats of the sea because they can pick open rubbish bags.
Anyhow, I'm just going to leave it there. I'll try and tie that in a bit better in my editing time, which I don't have much of this week. But long story short, there's an actual screeching seagull competition, right? So it got me thinking, should there be a pelican one?
Oh, God.
I'm just putting it out there.
The last time I heard that sound, I was walking past a place in the Cross, and I think someone paid to make that sound. So, I'd hate to hear what a pelican makes, and I'm not going to attempt it for anyone to take the piss out of me.
Yeah, look, pelicans have got a bit more of a...
That's about it.
But yeah, so anyhow, I found that interesting that there is such a thing like that. I feel like the poor old pelican's been discriminated against, and maybe they need to have a pelican screeching championship.
Held in, that'd have to be held in Brisbane. It'd be
Brisbane?
It'd be a Queensland thing.
A Queensland thing, yeah.
I reckon
We're
so.
pretty smart down this way,
Yeah.
so yeah.
And that seagull thing, that's probably come from Victoria, so that's probably down there in Melbourne.
Yeah, them ones on the MCG that used to get in the way of the cricket
In the
games.
cricket, that's it.
Yeah. Actually, like we do sort of cut away into sport every now and again, but look, I watch a little bit of rugby league, but
Go the Dogs.
Go the doggies. Oh, the doggies. But anyhow, long story short, I think they had like 19 something sin bins or something like that through the week.
Yeah, bloody ridiculous. Look, there has been a lot of talk about how it has been wrecking the game and all that, but in the same thing, have a look at rugby union. This is they haven't been tolerating headshots for years, and they might have 2 sin bins a game from headshots.
Yeah.
But their refs have got it pointed down to a point where if it's malicious contact, you're off. But if it's a bump up and then in, it's just a penalty.
That's a real valid point. And look, I think we definitely seen some of them on the weekend there where the first initial contact was into the shoulder and then sort of obviously momentum's carried them on. But it's not the original blow, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Onto the head area. So
and especially also those falling ones.
Yeah.
Like that's like.
How do you get out of the way there? You can't do it.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate, and obviously we don't want to see anyone miss, a week or a couple of weeks because of the concussion protocols that they've got in place now. But at the same token, like this, it's going to become nearly a like OzTag or something like that. You know what I mean? Like
we'll be playing soccer soon.
Yeah. So
and that's another thing. Like some of the guys like are stepping past. Like I'll use Walshy didn't play this weekend, but he's a wanker anyway. Like he'll step past and someone will graze his face across his nose, and he's down like a soccer player.
Yeah,
looking for a penalty now. So then there's the thing of players.
Cameron Smith was really good at doing stuff like
that. Yeah, but he was also the ref as well.
He was also the ref.
That's right. If you took that Storm jersey off underneath, it was a strike from there for sure.
But anyhow, look, or just while we're talking a little bit about that, I was just going to jump on to the ABT site there and just have a look at some stuff, but I keep pressing the wrong button. Are you even quicker at that? Yeah. I'm hopeless with phones. Don't give me a phone.
Do you want today's or
no? Let's do a recap of what's happened down in the Hunter region over the last few days. So obviously ABT Bass are down there at the moment. Double header for the Bass. At the first one was in the Hunter River, now the Hawkesbury River. Little Birdie's just told me here that Mr. Steve was catching some bass there in the upper reaches of the Hawkesbury Brim. So that's interesting. I don't know what the rules are there, but with boundaries and that, if people are fishing both, but we'll see how that goes. How'd you go?
Yep. All right. So we have not too bad. So congratulations to Benny Hay for winning his first ABT. He's been around for a while and he's been slugging it out hard. And especially down there at some of those local dams like Glenbourne, St. Clair, and now that I think this is the third time maybe they've been down there on the Hunter River. So congratulations, mate. So he pulled out a bag of 7 fish for 7.3.
Yeah, so it's important to remember it's a 5 fish limit and it's on a weight to scale one, this one, isn't it?
Yeah, so a 30 centimetre fish weighs
and
334 grams.
Yeah. So, and all ABT bass rounds now, or Bass Pro rounds, are measured now, aren't they?
No, not all of them.
Not all of them?
No, some are at base and some are...
Depending on the location, the fisheries regulations.
Yeah. And also, it really comes down to the fish care and that as well. So
Yeah.
And that, and plus it gives the guys a better opportunity of, like, with your non-boater being able to keep keep fish as well. So if
Yep.
it was a live weigh-in,
Mm.
it would probably only be 3 fish for your boater, 2 fish for your non-boater. So
Okay.
this gives the bass guys a better opportunity to catch more fish.
Yep.
Make it a bit more competitive because we all know some days when it's tournament time, catching 5 fish can be a
Yeah.
pain in the fucking nuts.
Yeah, yeah. Now, when you listeners will hear this, we will know who has won the Hunter. But once again, if we go to and have a look at the Hunter one there, I think Ben's somewhere in the mix there as well, isn't he?
Oh no, for the Hornsby. Yeah,
The
Ben.
Hawkesbury, sorry.
Yeah, the Hornsby.
Go to the Hawkesbury, Michael.
Yeah.
Hurry up, mate. Just yeah.
So top 10 for day one was Mitch Hines for 4.5 kilos, then Benny Hay for 4.1,
Yep.
and then Cameron Hall for 3.6, Matty Langford in fourth for 3.3, and then Simon Merchant for 3.1. That was the top 5 for day one.
Yep.
So
And look, they're probably competing now too. That dirty water. They've had a bit of rain down there over that weekend as well. So I don't know if that's going to affect too much coming in today too for them guys. The time that we're recording this now, it's nearly 1 o'clock. Obviously, we'll know something by the end of probably 2:30, I'd say, as to how they went. Obviously, local guy Cameron Hall's going good.
had some
And
boat troubles.
had some boat troubles, but
Had another boat down there and
yep,
got
mate.
himself sorted and
Got-
fishing hard.
Yep, made it happen. So good job. And yeah, we'll have to see how they go. Well, obviously, when you've been listening to this, you'd be like, I know who fucking won, you dickheads. But we sort of are 48 hours backwards because we're backwards people.
Yeah. Tasmania. No, and look, down there too, it looks like the EPs have been playing nicer too, I think.
Yeah, I did see a
think
couple of
they've been-
photos.
I think they've been
Yep.
consistent of some of the larger fish in the people's bags.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
EPs are always fun.
Awesome. All right, so now I think we'll just go into this next one here. And once again, guys, this will probably be a shortish episode today. But shall we talk about our weekend on the water or our Sunday on the water?
Yeah, why not? Let's open it up.
Okay, all right. So for people that have been listening, and some of the locals obviously aware of this, there was a bit of a, what would you say, a bit of a shout out for a challenge for us and the One More Throw podcast,
AKA Truckers Podcast.
and the Truckers Podcast, and why not? It's always in a bit of fun and banter, and it's one of them things where I just said to Bo, I don't really care what happens. If we do good, we do good. If we don't, we don't. My headspace is obviously in an ABT sort of mind
That's all
frame.
he was worried about, ABT. I'm like, mate, fucking shit I've been listening to all week. Get your head in the fucking game. We're not losing this.
Yeah, so, anyhow, long story short, we got down there, and all that rain, once again, it was like deja vu, but
really
not
was.
as bad.
We could see rock.
We could see rock.
There was
Yeah,
a
that
little
was
bit.
good. That was good. We could see rock. And you know what? We just sort of got in there and we played a few mind games.
Yeah.
We did play a few mind games. It was all just gentle discussions at the start of the day. But we noticed the boys sort of took off pretty quick after the start was commenced. And we tried to put in a protest there, but it fell on deaf ears, unfortunately. It sort of went on the wayside by the tournament directors of the day. Not mentioning any names. But anyhow, so we started off like that. And then I headed over to a spot which was already occupied by someone else. And so we went down to Collis's. And look, big shout out to young Tommy there, Tommy Austin. He got it done fishing by himself as well. I want to say got it done. He was a bridesmaid, but he done a pretty good job considering the amount of water and the conditions. It was quite tough. And he just sat on that wall, and I think he cranked and threw a few blades or something on Collis's there. We did the same, but we sat it out on the riverside. Unfortunately, I think we got 2 fish there. Yep. Unfortunately, we lost, I think, 1 or 2 as well. One was right near the boat, and I pulled the hooks on it. And what I learned from that was that they were short striking the lure. They it was more of an aggressive, not really eating, just you're in my space, get out sort of thing, I think. So we decided to go down to Palmer's because I did go out fishing on the Wednesday with a mate and just try and stick it out at Palmer's. And we got there and I changed up to 3 pounds straight through. And some people think you're an idiot for doing that. But then I got the 3 legals probably in the 20 minutes, half an hour maybe. You lost about 10 lures.
10,000 lures.
I've never seen someone be so unlucky. Even when he casted it like 2 foot off the bank, somehow he still managed to snag himself on the rock wall. But anyhow, but going back to that 3 pound thing, what it really allowed to do, it gave maximum stretch and less tension for that fish to actually get onto the back of that lure in my mind anyhow. And I think that made that difference at that point in time. I would have loved to have probably done it back at Collis's wall, but I sort of, at 3 pound on Collis's wall, when you're throwing on top of the wall, it can be a nerve-wracking sort of experience to have. So, but anyhow, win some, you lose some. Don't be scared, don't be a pussy, 100%.
Yeah, I'll throw them straight over, probably why I lose so many.
And then from there, I think we went to the Oyster Channel Bridge. And it was funny, we had the Garmin Live Scope working, and Bo had a crab, I had a plastic, and that this is what you do with teams. Like you throw different things, right? You try and figure something out. But I did say to Bo, I said, look here, you can see that there has to be a brim on this pylon. It's 15 foot down, and it's just dangling there just under the post there. And Bo actually put in a pretty good shot. Upstream further because obviously the current was going to bring it back down, and then whammo, it was on. So we got our first upgrade there, and as usual, we'll say it now, and we might get rubbish, but we'll throw in a few white lies because the other guys turned up and they said, "Oh, how you going?" And we're like, "Oh, we only got 2 or 3," and trying to cover me live well as well because you can see through it. Just for a bit of shits and giggles and then what did we do? We went back to the Iluka wall there, not the break wall, the other wall, and I lost a good one. I did as simple as that. I just lost a good fish throwing that 3 pound. That's what happens when you throw 3 pound and the big ones come out. It's sometimes a bit of a 50-50.
What was my comment? What was your comment? Do I throw 6 or do I throw 3? And I was like, are you even a brim fisherman?
Yeah, back to 3 pound. Yeah, that's it. So anyhow, and then we sort of mucked around, done a few things, nearly ran over a diver that had no flags out and carried on. But he had no flags out and didn't even know they were diving, to be frank. But anyhow, so we come back at the end of the day, and Bo just pipped another one there again on that rock wall at the end of the day, which was another upgrade. And look, we finished 5th. I think it was about 35 grams out of the money, which isn't much when you think about it, but it is what it is. And then a couple of fish that I know that I dropped may have at least got us into 2nd place, if not further. So it is what it is. That is fishing. You win some, you lose some. But more importantly for Bo, we beat the other podcast because I think he'd been putting up with a fair bit of shit through the week.
Yeah, I've been listening to a fair bit of shit from Brother and Nugget and that. But the funny thing is how much money did you spend on fishing gear this week? Well, not for last week for our little tournament. Did you spend any money on that? Like other than like fuel and?
I think I lost 2 lures.
You lost 2 lures. I lost about 2 dozen. But other than that, I think these 2 idiots between themselves spent about $2,000 at my tackle.
Really?
Yeah. And look, I'm not saying it was just for this comp.
Yeah.
It sounds good that they spent $2,000.
Yeah.
For a Clarence Valley fishing comp.
Yeah.
But yeah, boys, that's commitment. So yeah.
Look, what I would say about it too is it's always good to just have these little banner things with mates, but I think as an angler or someone that's competing in tournaments, the fight or the challenge is with the fish, not the other people.
Oh yeah, and that day sort of showed it as well. Like it was it was tough to get a bag. Like
100%.
and that of like good of okay fish.
Yeah.
There was that many little fish that were biting. Like
Yeah.
I caught a fair few undersizes.
Yeah. So we with all jokes aside, like it was a tough day. The boys did well. Everyone did well to fish that in tough conditions. To be frank, there was some people when we got back to the weigh-in sort of hyped it up a bit, which was always good. But we sort of knew, talking to them guys, unless they were good fibbers like us as well, that we probably did have them.
And knowing that Tyson fished to like the last 30 seconds.
We sort of made a joke that they might have come in a bit late, but we thought, we'll make a note of it and leave it there. But yeah, anyhow, look, it was all in good fun. A few of the guys sort of at the end were trying to figure out what their punishment should be for losing, because I think on their show there was some talks of eating hot chilies or something like, I don't know what it was.
There was something.
Yeah, some banter around that.
They wanted like a hot chip or something like that. Or...
Someone suggested that they had to do the bubbler.
Someone said I got a message that someone that next brim comp that they for the photo if they catch fish that they hold them like bass.
Oh yes, I did get that message from that particular person as well.
I thought that
yeah. I think my comment back to him was that they're pretty small brim to get your thumb in there.
Yeah, I think I said the same thing. I said I think they better catch some big to get their thumb.
But you know what, like roles reversed. Next comp will probably come along. We'll probably, they'll probably beat us and vice versa, and that's just fishing because. It's not about the people. It's always about the fish, and I think what I'd say is all these guys that compete, the guys that win, guys that are in places, the guys that anyone can have a good bag, and I think what happened with the people that come first in that, and I should grab their names and give them an honourable mention. But those are always quicker at using phones than I am. I'm just going to give up. I fucking hate phones. I think they landed an 890.
Yeah, it was very close to 900.
It was close to 900. Now that one fish pretty much got them over the line. There's no second guessing about that. That one fish got them there. I think they won by about 200 grams off the top of my head. But so. That's the thing. One fish can change, a comp dramatically, whether it's brim, bass, or barra, or whatever it might be. And that's why you should always try and fish to the death as well, because you could just be that one more cast away.
Well, that was us. We got that. We hooked that last upgrade. You literally said one more cast, bro.
Yeah, that's right.
Bang.
That's right. So never give up, and look, in 3 casts, if you've got enough time for 3 casts, you could land 3 fish that upgrades your bag.
Yeah, okay, so we've got the results, and it was Ben and Nathan, 5 fish for 2.82 kilos with big brim of 870 grams.
There you go.
And look, then there's the young Tommy, who was 5 fish for 2.62 kilos. So
well done, Tommy. Another sponsored angler with Yamba Yamaha.
Yep. And also does a good... He can fillet a fish too there at the co-op. Third place was Alan, Luke, and Elijah. I think it is.
EJ, yep.
EJ, and they were 5 fish for 2.605.
Yeah. No, the Rooksters are genuine competitors every time they fish. They're usually always up in the pointy end.
Yeah, and then final 4th place was Scott and Rick for 5.2350.
Yeah, and very consistent. So we'll just out by 35 grams.
35 grams.
So them 2 fish probably would have helped, but at the end of the day, I'm sure them guys probably lost a couple of good fish as well, and other guys might have lost multiple good fish that could have seen them go. But that's why we fish.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's why we keep doing it.
All right, so I think that wraps everything up there. Obviously, big shout out to Nugget and your brother for just having a bit of fun and also being good sports.
And look, this is what it's all about, making fishing great again.
Yeah.
This was a normal comp that we threw a little bit of banter at, and we made a comp in a comp, and
It was sort of funny because a lot of the competitors, when we come back, were sort of like, oh, which one of these guys won, and who's going to do what, and
it sort of built up in the little club group itself. Like it was like, who's got it? Like, no, it was good.
But yeah, so anyhow, next time when it's a bass one, Joey can come in for me, and you guys can go and work that out.
Me and Joey can go be drain hauls.
All right. Look, we'll probably move on from that, but one thing that I've got here, before I go any further, you got any news?
No, because I think we're going to talk about the same stuff.
Yeah, okay.
With what I was saying, you've got written down.
Yeah, right. So
that's what I had.
Just add a bit of a yarn there to Tommy Wood there the other day. He's coming back over to Australia. The one thing that he mentioned, and I think he put on one of his reels or stories, is that he's coming back and he's looking for people that would be interested in, obviously, like a paid sort of thing, doing a bit of Garmin sounder training. So I thought, what not a good idea to bring that up on this podcast, because
you're booking in.
I'm actually said I'm interested, but I was sort of like, me being me, I sort of said, man, you're going to have to come down here and have a few chooks and run in my boat.
We're not going to him. He's coming to us.
Have a run in my boat, because mine's set up a little bit different. I don't have the pole. It's on the Kraken. And I'd like to just get his thoughts in and around that. Look, it's quite simplistic to, have the pole to move the fish around or whatever. I think to a point with that, like, you can adapt. It's just in really, really hard running water where you want to fish, it becomes a little bit hard trying to do that, because you go on and off.
Or when the wind's blowing off its tip.
That's
the only two times I thought, okay.
Yeah, that's right.
But really, if it's blowing, usually if it's blowing off its tips in the wind anyway, that pole's moving around, like pole's bouncing up and down, where the electric motor sort of stays a bit more. There's lots of pros and cons.
And the other thing too, like, say if you anchor with that as well, what it does do, it sort of moves around anyhow. So I always tend just to look as it's moving, just to see if anything really jumps out on that side of it. Or what I do sometimes is I hit the stop button and then just swing it around very slowly, just for a quick scan. And then if I see something, then I might move over that way a bit or cast to that, then whack it back into Spotlight again. So I don't like to use Spotlight a lot. I like to sort of, fish deep. No, I wouldn't call it dead sticking, but fishing deep and just sort of bouncing them plastics or crabs along the bottom, just to cover that ground as well. Because the other thing that I'm doing is I'm obviously looking at the other pieces, like your 2D and that, of any sort of fish showing up, under them beams as well. So it's really just that process of elimination. But Tommy will be the man to sort of, sharpen them sort of concepts with me. And look, if anyone else is looking to get better at using their sounders, drop him a message in Messenger, Tommy Wood or Tommy Wood Fishing, I think it is. And I'm sure he'd be happy to try and organise something with you. But he's only over for, I think, 2 months.
It's only here for a short time,
and obviously, as he's mentioned, like it costs a lot of money to do what he's doing, and he needs to come back and while there's a bit of a break in things, come back and make some coin, and his visa as well.
Oh yeah, his visa. Jesus Christ, we don't need another incident like that.
Yeah, no more visa incidents.
He'll be in Guantanamo. But the other thing as well is with that is Tommy's over there. He's seeing the latest technology and what the big boys are actually doing to tune these in even further. Him and his old boy back here on the Sunshine Coast are local heroes and guns with these, but I can only imagine what
be the next level.
What these guys over the little tricks and that they've showed him. What he's going to bring back over to us over here is going to be pretty cool. So it'll be money well spent if you want to learn more about your Garmin sounder.
100% right. And I think it's a great little prelude now to listen to one of our sponsors, Daiwa Australia.
Hey, P2.
Hey, mate, what's up?
Mate, now that I've got this boat here and I've got the electronics on the way, I'm going to need some fishing gear.
Mate, you can't look flash in that new rig without some new fancy fishing gear.
I know.
Mate, I can only recommend one thing. I would head over to the Daiwa Australia website, mate, and make yourself a little bit of a wish list and then head into your local tackle store and see if those legends can get it in. Because if there's one thing I know, mate, Daiwa Australia, they have it all. Whether you want a brand new rod, a a nice new shiny reel, or some new line to go on it. Then you're going to need some tackle, of course. They have it all. Daiwa Australia is your one-stop shop, and the big supporters here, the Two Pelicans Podcast.
All right, and look, thank you, Daiwa Australia, for helping out the Two Pelicans Podcast there with the bait junkie packs. Now, the last one that we've actually got of this through the school holidays, I should say, we ran some pictures for some kids, and we've done the random draw, and the winner is, what have we got here? Press a button. Proud. Oh, no, that's a jiggy one. Anyhow, sorry. Look, the winner is Matt Turvey, and look, we'll put that photo up, just confirming that you won. Now, congratulations. We just need your details, but we've got another issue to address too, haven't we?
Yeah. So our last competition, thanks to fucking Australia, Post, they had our notification of the week. We had our delivery get sent out. Sorry, mate, you weren't home. And it's been literally sitting in the Newcastle warehouse. So I've made a few phone calls to Postman Pat. I have got it back.
We got it sent back.
And literally going to get it sent out today, tomorrow.
So
with the other pack.
yeah, righto. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to find. I know that you did send a message, and I forget your name, and I really do apologise for that. I just don't have it in front of me at the moment. But yeah, I might even be able to snick it down. Newcastle, did you say?
Yeah.
Probably a bit off the course with the boat and that on, but look, I am going down to Hawkesbury this weekend. But look, what we'll do, we'll get that. I'll do it, but if it's okay, I'll send it. I'll send it tomorrow, and I'll pay for the express post. So I actually feel pretty bad that that's happened to you, and we'll try and get it there for the end of the week. And I apologise that I didn't get back to you earlier. It's only because we've been away and school holidays and that have gotten away. So we've tracked it down. We know what's going on with it now, and we'll just send an express post this time. Yeah, and make sure. Or should we? Yeah. Anyhow, I'll check that out with Express Australia Post about leaving packages there. I just don't know what they do with that. So, and I think that's where our issue come in, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Righto. All right. Now, what do we got left to talk about is probably the question. I'm going down to Hawkesbury this weekend. ABT Rim Round number 4 for the year. Not 4 for me. This will be the second one. Obviously, I need to try and redeem myself on a waterway that I've never fished before. I guess I've drawn some inspiration from a couple of locals who've been down there doing some good bass work, which is good. But yeah, I've sort of, after the weekend here of tuning in hard bodies and thinking about how to fish them and that, maybe with some dirty water around, I might try and adapt that same sort of method, I suppose, into doing that. So anyhow, if you are fishing the Brim ABT, come over, have a yarn to us. I'll be in the caravan park somewhere with my little jigger. Come over, have a chook, and have a yarn. And
Nicky's
leaders. I need all the fucking help I can get.
Actually, that's right. I got to pull the Enviro net out for you too.
Oh yeah. The old BCF net's a fucking nightmare.
That was
Yeah, pretty frustrating, isn't it? I need to do something about that. Look, actually, let's just roll into some mud gudgeons. And I just, we mentioned it, but how was it that guy's just popped his head up waving like this, going, I'm diving. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah, like, so there was two people in...
They never waved us down or anything to say, like, we're up.
No, it was we come through and the next minute they're throwing their hands up, so...
But it was the dude in the water, wasn't it? Not so much people in the boat, or did they all do it?
No, it was the Karen in the boat.
There was someone in the boat. I thought it was the bloke in the water.
No, there was a fellow in the water. He had no idea. He was, and I don't even know what he was doing. Like, what the hell he was even diving for? Like,
I think they must have been looking at a morning. Is the only thing that I can think of.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, no diving flag, no nothing. Just two old people in a boat and the old fella down.
Yeah.
Bloody looking at.
Yeah, but like look, when I was driving,
and like, let's just say, we didn't come in hot.
No. We were on the plane, but we weren't doing 70, 80 k's an hour or anything like that. We were probably doing about 40, 50, if that. But to my knowledge about them rules there is that if you drive through the anchorage part there, it is 4 knots, but on the outer side of the wall, it's not 4 knots. And so that's what I proceeded to do. It would be interesting to clarify that if we are wrong, because if I thought I was wrong, my assumption is that Maritime needs to put a 4 knot sign on the breakwall.
Yeah. But then the weird thing is Maritime was there all day.
Yeah.
Floating around, and I'm sure he would have seen.
Yeah. It actually didn't pull me over either for a change, which was nice.
Oh well, he probably saw that he played to ran the right way this time. So
no, he sort of he was more interested in my life jacket. And look, in all due respect to Maritime, I actually went and had a look at my life jacket, and the canister looked a bit rusty, so I just bought a new life jacket. I thought, bugger it, I'll fix the canister up another time. I'll just buy another one, the cheapest chips now, like $69, $70 or whatever. So just go out and buy one. So I will fix that other one up, because it's only like, I don't know, 2 or 3 years old, if that.
No,
and
25 canisters, $25.
Yeah, canister's $25, and everything else seems to be in working order. So I'll pop it and see if there's any air leaks in it. I think everyone should do that. Is pop your old canister and just make sure that you haven't jammed a hook in your inflatable piece.
Well, I think the life jackets have got an expiry date on them themselves. Which
usually, I think a lot of them now.
5 years or something.
Yeah, I thought it was about 5 years, and you've got to check them every couple of years. All depends on the manufacturer's decision in and around that. So I assume the cheaper ones that you pay for, you're probably going to have to check them every year. The ones that you pay 150, 60, which are probably automated ones as well, hopefully you only got to look at them every 1 or 2 years. But yeah, I don't think much lasts over 5 years, and which would be right, because the salt water, especially in salt, shit just gets corroded whether you like it or not. So
no matter how much you clean it or wash it, fucking shit still gets in it.
Yeah. So also, we've got a bit of a lure review as well.
Yeah, okay, guys. So, we said we're going to try to do this each episode.
You're actually doing really good, because I have not contributed one fucking iota to this, but I like that you're doing this. This is great.
So, one lure that actually did really well for us on the weekend and actually got a fair lot of our fish was the Detonator from Baramba. I'm really loving these at the moment, and haven't been a real big brim fisherman, but these things have been making me look pretty good. Yeah,
so these are, I actually like the actions, the profile, everything with this, and the what do you call it, the chin
nut?
The chin nut is quite a revolutionary thing that Matt's done. It's really good. So just to put in some concept at the moment, the other thing that we found fishing there, especially at Colsa's the other day, that the better fish, sometimes the better fish were right down on the base and was striking pretty much near the boat. They were following it. I guess they were following it for a while, and then it got down to, I don't know, maybe a depth, or maybe they thought it was time to strike. I don't know. But with the chin nut on there, you're just getting it that little bit deeper. And yeah, I think that sort of helped us in the first hour or so in the morning there when we fished.
And there was a few times there where I would, and probably don't listen to me because I lost 1,000 of them, but like I'd hit the rock and then I'd just pause it and just let it sit, and then as soon as it would just lift that little bit, whack.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Go check them out. I think we've already talked about a couple of other Baramba products in there.
Yes, we have. Yeah.
Anything Baramba at the moment, I'm finding is red hot. Matt has put some time and effort into these lures, and us as anglers,
great ideas.
I'm really starting to see.
Yeah.
His hard work come into my.
And I think at the ABT, I think Chris Lonnie and maybe a few other guys use that in the ABT and done quite well as well on the Clarence. So, yeah.
All right, and another lure. This lure's, I really love these lures. These have been a great bass lure now for about 12 months. And Benny Hay actually won on this lure on the weekend, and it is the 13 fishing Gordito in Old Guac. So I love the names for this. It actually does look like day old guac.
Gordito. Okay. So how deep does this one go?
That one should go about 7 feet, I think. by memory.
Float 7 foot. Yep, there
7
you
foot. And look, they're just a nice, tight little profile. There's a lot of these lures out at the moment, like your hide ups.
Yes.
Jackal's just bought one out. I forget the name, Wobble Bomb or something maybe.
Wobble Bomb.
But I'm really liking, and in the rivers, it's just a good solid bass bait profile.
Yeah.
So yeah, and the good thing about these lures as well is on the bib they have the depth that they dive into.
Yes, they do too.
Well.
I don't know whether you're going to see that there. Hang on. There it is.
Yeah, there it is. Slightly.
Just down in that bottom corner there.
And I don't know if there's a lot of anglers out there, but I don't have my tackle box is a shit box. Like
throw them all in.
That's pretty much it. And anything that can sort of help me like that, I find is good because I'm looking at my sounders constantly, seeing what depth the fish are at. And yeah, if there's something on there that's actually going to remind me what it actually dives at, instead of having a perfectly neat box like someone has.
It might need to.
Oh, mate, I saw your jig heads the other day, and I was like, "Oh, look at this!" Or stick it out. I was nearly going to take a sneaky photo and bloody put a post up, but I was.
I can make one of them for you. Well, it won't be me; it'll be my bride. But she's got one of them label makers, and what do you call them? Crickets.
Yeah.
And she does a fair bit of stuff for me in that respect, and I just find it easier. So when I don't know about you, but when I fish, when I do anything, my head's running 100 miles an hour. I've got fucking 200 things on my mind, right? If it's just sitting there in plain sight with saying this is what this is, then it's just one less thing that I'm sort of going, oh, fuck, which one? Where is it? Yeah. So,
no, I did like that when I saw it.
One thing that I used to do was back in the day when I was, and I'm sort of not really worried about it now because of the dirty water, but now I'm maybe thinking about it, was that when I done my mono to braids, I'd actually have like a little bit of tape on my rod saying that you put 4 pound leader on that, or 6 pound leader, or 5 pound leader, or 4 pound. Yeah,
I have seen that. The last time ABT was here for ABT Brim Grand Final, I was helping with tags and that, and I saw one of the boaters boats, and I was like looking in there as you do, like just
having a sticky beak,
like. And yeah, he had masking tape on his rods, and that was a 4 pound leader. That was 6 pound leaders.
Yeah. And look, the reason why I was doing that at the time is obviously when, if we're concentrated as a tournament in a particular area, if you're sort of not getting the bite on the 6 pound, drop down to 3 or 4 and see what happens. You know what I mean?
Look what happened at Palmer's. Bass fisherman. I'm sitting there fishing. I think I was fishing. Maybe 10 and 10.
Yeah. And I think
you ended up coming up and literally schooling me on the 3 pound.
Yeah. So I think that and we know that there was other anglers there that weren't catching, I think, as many fish either, or any as well. That making that little adjustment definitely sort of helped us in that half an hour or so that we're there for.
Well, look, put it this way: it's made it that much that I went and bought a new ATC reel, and I didn't put 3.
Yeah. 4?
It's got 4.
Okay.
It's going to be straight through 4, and I might even put it on the new atomic rod that I got from the last Brim point. So.
Actually, that rod will be perfect. Don't get me wrong. I think look, I've done there. I've done 4 pounds straight through. Do I like that? It's all right, but with the gear, like if you get a dial or a ATD reel or have that slow, that slow draw drag, and then you have like a medium fast rod like the atomic, that 3 pound is a lot more stronger than what a lot of people give it credit for. Now, the only thing that probably fucked me up on the weekend was that with that bigger one was that where we're fishing, you're fishing over submerged rock, right? You're not getting the lure back down the base. You're trying to pull the brim out of crevices, so to speak, because they're in there tight at that time of the day. They were fishing in the middle of the day, right? So the idea is to really get it up in there and then bring it through. Now with 3 pound, as most people know, you get a decent little nick in that or whatever. It's good to see you Monday. It's gone. So. That's the balance and the risk that you got to play with. 4 pound, what I'd say about 4 pound is the flow through sometimes isn't as good.
But you got to remember, I still like to pole my fish in.
Yeah. No. We got to finesse fish. We finesse fish around here. But anyhow. Righto, guys. That is the Two Pelicans podcast. I am Mick.
I'm Bo.
We are the Two Pelicans, making fishing great again. We'll see you next week. Till then, tight lines. Hurrah. Bye-bye.
Hooroo.